Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharidhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Yashodanandana Vrajanaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hari Hari Bo.
So welcome again to our Bhakti Vaibhava study of Srimad Bhagavatam. We're on 6th canto. Today looking at chapter number 8, Narayana Kavacha Shield. Before we go on to chapter 8, just quickly review what happened in chapter 7. Right?
Yeah.
You'll remember from chapter 6, Sukadeva Goswami had described how the demigods lost their guru. They were rejected by their guru, and then they were defeated by the demigods. So Maharaj Parikshit was shocked when he heard that the guru of the demigods had left the demigods. He wanted to know what had happened. And so Sukadeva Goswami described the situation in the heavenly planets, how King Indra was influenced by opulence. He was overwhelmed by pride and the opulence of the heavenly planets, the whole situation there, that everyone worshipping him and giving so much honor and respect to him, that he became proud. And when Brihaspati, who was his own spiritual master, came into the assembly, he did not receive him. He did not make any attempt to receive him. So seeing the situation, Brihaspati left. He thought, no point in me staying here. It shouldn't be like this. And so he just left. And then Indra became repentant. He began to feel guilt that I should have taken some time to welcome my spiritual master. And problem arose. One of the reasons why the problem arose was over familiar with his spiritual master. Prabhupada says familiarity breeds contempt. So Brihaspati had been coming there every day, and so because of being coming every day, Indra did not properly receive him. So Brihaspati was not pleased and he left. And Indra realized his mistake. He went to look for him, but could not find him because Brihaspati is more powerful than Indra. So Brihaspati made himself invisible, and Indra could not find him. Demigods were looking and could not find him. But then on the other hand, the demons, they had been worshipping their guru. They had been taking care and honoring their guru, Sukracharya, and so when they heard how the guru of the demigods had gone away, because news traveled, they got news that the demigods have had some problem with their guru, and their gurus disappeared. And so then the demons immediately armed themselves, and they came and they attacked the heavenly planets. And usually the demigods would be able to defeat the demons. But this time, because they don't have the presence, they don't have the support from their guru, they were not able to defeat the demons. Rather, the demons conquered them. And the demons took over. And then what happened to the demigods? What did they do in that situation? They were defeated.
They went to Brahma.
They went to
Brahma.
They went to Brahma for help.
For help.
And what did Lord Brahma tell them?
Lord Brahma said that whatever you did was mistake. So now, with my instruction, you go and approach Vishwarup.
And what?
You approach Vishwarup, and you can take.
And what was the qualification of Vishwarup?
He was son of Tvashta, Brahmana. He was.
What was his particular qualification to Vishwarup?
Particular qualification his mother side was from Devon side. So he has the...
That's not his qualification. That's his birth.
Austerity.
I want to know about his own particular qualification as a Brahmana. So look in your books. You see what it says there.
He was very advanced in austerity.
Okay.
He was very advanced in austerity, and he in personal Prabhupada in yoga, yajana, that all Brahmana's qualities he had, and he was not attached with the material opulence.
What?
Not attached to that material opulence.
Not attached to material outcome.
Material opulence.
And he was austere.
He was,
And anything else? Was he learned? Was he able to chant mantras? Are you told that? What does it say?
You are an exalted commander of the entire universe. Like that.
Huh? So, what was what was Vishwarupa's qualification? Why was he being recommended by Lord Brahma?
He's a powerful Brahmana
He's a powerful Brahmana.
who was taking up austerities and penances.
Austerity, that's the power of the Brahmana. Okay. Anything else? Does it say anything else? Just as penances and austerities. But Lord Brahma warns that there's only just one thing. You have to be. Lord Brahma said you have to be what?
He has the weakness towards demon also. He has that weakness.
So what did Lord Brahma say about that?
Tolerant.
Huh?
Be tolerant. Be tolerant.
Be tolerant, right? Be tolerant. Should be tolerant. That was said. You have to tolerate that he has a leaning towards the demons because mother is from the side of the demons. So then the demigods go to Vishwarup and they praise him and they offer all kinds of praise, honoring him. Although he's younger than them, Vishwarup is younger than the demigods, and you could say junior to them, but they're demigod and he's a Brahmana. So in some ways he's senior, he's a Brahmana. But they want him for their priest. It's important for them to have a priest for their power in fighting against the demons. They need to have that priest behind them who is supporting them by doing yajna. So they pleaded with him to please take up their service. So he agrees. He agrees to take up the service for the demigod. And he gives the demigods this special armor. A special armor which will protect them. Right? This is a Vishnu mantra. Vishnu mantra is meditation and mantras. It's a Narayana Kavacha. So Vishwarupa, where did Vishwarupa get this Narayana Kavacha from? Who gave it to him? Huh?
It is there in the Vedas.
It's from the Vedas. It says here, Vishwarupa made for the demigods a protective covering saturated with a Vishnu mantra. Sometimes the Vishnu mantra is called Vishnu Dwara. Just like when Lord Shiva was fighting Lord Krishna, right? They were fighting each other. When Banasura's daughter had become involved with Anirudh, Usha and Anirudh, right? Banasura had a daughter, Usha, and she got involved with this son of Lord Krishna, Anirudh. And Anirudh then got arrested by the father, and Lord Krishna came with his army to get him out, to get him free. And at that time Banasura came, and Banasura has Lord Shiva defending him. So Lord Shiva fought with Lord Krishna. Right? You've read that pastime?
Yes.
In the Krishna book? Lord Krishna used, for Lord Shiva used Shiva Dwara. What was the effect? What did it do to everything?
Becomes hot.
Burned everything, right? But then Lord Krishna had the Vishnu Dwara. Freeze everything. So when everything, the Shiva Dwara was defeated by the Vishnu Dwara. Okay, so
So from where he got Vishnu, from where he got this Vishnu power? Narayana power?
I'm looking. Vishwarup was the most liberal, spoke to King Indra the secret hymn that protected Indra and conquered the military power of the demons. And then it should be in the next chapter, the origin of this mantra. I thought he got it from his father, Twasta, actually. I'll have to check up on it. I thought he got it from Twasta. Okay, anyway, but I'll have to check in the book here. It must be in the book where it came from. Anyway, this is the beginning of this 8th chapter about the Narayana Kavacha. Kavacha meaning shield. And part of the mantra, part of the Narayana Kavacha is a meditation, and part of it is putting symbols, different symbols on different parts of the body. And then you have to also chant prayers. Right? The first part is putting different syllables of the mantra on different parts of the body. It's described. Anyway, Maharaj Parikshit wants to know about it. So Vishwarup's reply begins, and you can see the mantras. Some of the different mantras are mantras we're familiar with. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Narayanaya. And in the translation here in text number 4 to 6, you can see it's not in the verse, but Prabhupada's put it in the translation, a mantra which we will chant. Usually when we're doing initiations, at that time you give some initiation, we will chant Om Pavitra Pavitra Va, Sarvavastam Gato B.V.V. Sabayan Suchit, Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu. So, Vishvarupa is describing what you have, how to chant this mantra. First, you have to be clean. Wash your hands and feet. Perform achman, then chant the mantra, and then touch kusha grass, face the north, then the mantra of 8 syllables, the 8 parts of the body. 8-syllable mantra is Om Namo Narayanaya. And then the 12-syllable mantra is right. And you have to touch different parts of the bodies, and you have to chant the mantra in reverse order also. And once you chant the mantra in reverse, beginning from the last syllable, touching the parts of the body in reverse order, go continue. And then place the different syllables on tips of the fingers. 4 remaining syllables should be placed on the joints of the thumb, like this. Once you've done it a few times, then it's quite straightforward. Like everything else, you have to practice. Then you have a 6-syllable mantra, Om Vishnave Namaha, and you have to chant that also on different parts of the body. Place the different syllables on different parts of the body. After and then in this way all the directions will be bound by the protective armor of the mantra. And then after finishing this chanting, then you have to meditate. You have to concentrate, thinking yourself qualitatively one with the Supreme Lord. In other words, ahangrahopasana. You should chant the following protective mantra or prayer, the following protective prayer to Lord Narayan. But first of all, you have to do this ahangrahopasana, meditating on yourself, being one with the Lord. One in quality, different in quantity. Not that we're God, but we're of the same quality. Prabhupada gives the example about the river flowing into the sea. The water from the river flows into the sea. In the purport you can see this is in text number, what text number is it? Text number 12. Said, a spirit soul, he is equal in quality with the Supreme Soul. The way the water of a river is of the same nature as the water of the sea. One should meditate upon the Supreme Lord and seek his protection. So this is ahangrahopasana, thinking oneself one in quality with the Supreme Lord. And we're given a description of the Lord, how we should think of him. He sits on the back of the bird Garuda, touching him with his lotus feet, He holds 8 weapons, the different weapons in his hands. May that Lord protect me at all times with his 8 arms. He possesses 8 mystic powers. So you can see, you'll see in these prayers, it's all about protection. Protect me, you know, take care of me, you know. Devotees, we don't, well, the advanced devotees anyway, they won't pray for protection. They'll just simply surrender to Krishna. Like Prahlad Maharaj, of course Prahlad Maharaj is a very topmost devotee, but he's never praying for protection. He's only remembering the Lord. He always remembers the Lord. He doesn't ask the Lord to protect him, but he's always thinking of the Lord. So that is real devotion, like that. When you're praying for the Lord, protect me, it's not quite the same. Although Lord Chaitanya taught us, he was going through the forest in Jharkhand and he was chanting Krishna Krishna Rakshama, Krishna Krishna Pahima. No, but Lord Chaitanya is Krishna himself, you know, he didn't have to pray for protection. But he was teaching us by way of his example. And the different prayers are offered, which are the Narayana Kavacha. You can see here text number 13, beginning the prayers. That the Lord assumes the body of a great fish, so protect me from the fierce animals. The fierce animals in the sea. And then he assumes the form of a dwarf, Vamana, so protect me on the land. And then he assumes the form Vishwarup, so protect me in the sky. Vishwarup means the universal form. So he's asked, protect me on the water, in the water, on the land, and in the sky. Protect me everywhere. This is the idea. Seeking the Lord's protection. And then Lord prays to Lord Nrsimhadev. Again, protect me in all directions. Be kind enough to protect me in difficult places, like the forest and the battlefront. If you go to war and you're a soldier, military people, you know, you'll be thinking like that. And we're told something about Lord Nrsimhadev, that his loud laughing vibrated in all directions and caused the pregnant wives of the Asuras to have miscarriages. Well,
Very dangerous.
I don't know if that would be the intention. And then prays to Lord Gaur, Lord Varaha. As the Lord picked up the earth planet from the bottom of the universe. So may that Lord protect me from rogues on the street. And Parasuram, protect me on the tops of mountains. Lord Ramachandra, protect me in foreign countries. So it's all protection, get protection, you know.
So if we want protection, we have to pray them.
You have to please him. Well,
As per our requirement, we have to pray this Lord.
These forms are to be.
This form.
These forms are to be worshipped and prayed for our protection from these things.
So if I want protection in the street, so I should worship Varaha, because he was when he was lifting the earth, then Hiranyakashipu attacked him on the road, on the way. So like that, isn't it?
Well, yes. But you don't just need protection only on the road. You're not always on the road. There's so many places you need protection, right? If you need protection, you want to be protected everywhere.
So only Hiranyakashipu all direction protection. If you worship Hiranyakashipu, you get the protection from all directions. So why to protect? Why to worship other forms?
Because you're going other places. Sometimes you're on the road, but you're not only on the road. You go other places, right? Sometimes you may be in the air, you may be on the water, you may be on the boat or something and going to sea. You want to take every opportunity to protect yourself from all different situations. If you need protection, so you want to protect yourself in all situations, not only just on the road. You just want to get you. Of course, if you're thinking like that, okay, then you don't need to chant Narayana Kavacha. If you're just worried about on the road. But anyway, the demigods. There are many people, demigods, they're worried, they want protection, so they're given this mantra, meditation, that they can protect themselves by chanting this mantra, and by this meditation. And the many things to protect us from also. Just like you can see here, the Lord in his appearance as Nara, protect me from unnecessary pride. So that's something else to be protected from. And protect me from unnecessarily following false religious systems. There's so many things you need protection from. It's not just, protect me on the street, I won't get knocked out by some demon. There are many other evil things. He said, Lord Dattatreya can protect me from falling while performing Bhakti Yoga. And Lord Kapila protect me from the material bondage of fruitive activities. So get protection from different situations. So many different situations you could be placed in. You need to get protection. So this Narayana Kavacha is protecting from all different possible situations. And here you can see, protect me from lusty desires. So that's very important. Prabhupada said lusty desires are very strong in everyone. And they are the greatest impediment to the discharge of devotional service. Right? So we need to get protection. So take shelter of Sanat Kumar. Sanat Kumar is a great brahmachari. And you may be worshipping the deity, you're doing some puja, so in the course of doing deity worship, maybe you'll commit some offenses. So you want to get protection from these offenses. So we should get the mercy of Narada Muni. Because Narada Muni is Acharya in worshipping, right? He wrote his book about deity worship. Narada Pancharatra is there, you see, Narada how to worship the deity and what offenses to be avoided. So many ways you need protection. You just want to get protection on the road, well, you haven't got very good protection.
What do you mean by take shelter of Sanat Kumar, what do we actually do?
Sanat Kumar, advised to take shelter of Sanat Kumar. Well, what are you advised to do? If you want to take shelter of Sanat Kumar, you can have a photograph of Sanat Kumar and you can worship it and offer flowers to it. And you can also read about Sanat Kumar in Srimad Bhagavatam, how Sanat Kumar gave instructions to Maharaj Prithu in the fourth canto there. Sanat Kumar's talking with Maharaj Prithu. And like this you can be remembering Sanat Kumar and his different activities. So that's what it means, taking shelter. Remembering.
And also, Maharaj, when we say everybody is troubled by lusty desires, the lusty desires are there in the mind.
Oh.
Do we practice that we are not the mind and ignore the thoughts?
Do we practice that we're not the mind? Well, you have a mind, you have to take care of it, you have to control it. You can't just have lusty desires and say, well, I'm not the mind anyway, so it doesn't matter. But if your mind is absorbed in lusty thoughts, then we have to control it, we have to conquer over it, right? What does Krishna say in the Bhagavad Gita? The question was asked by Arjuna, why are we forced to sinful activities, even unwilling, as if engaged by force? Right. So, it is lust, it is an all-devouring, sinful enemy, burns like fire, never satisfied. How to deal with it? How do you conquer? How Krishna tells you where is the lust? Where is it found?
In
Where?
mind, it's there in the mind, intelligence, and senses.
Yes, senses, mind, and intelligence. And how to conquer over it?
Suitable practice and
Devotional
detachment.
Huh?
By practice.
By dovetailing all our activities and by practicing devotional service.
Well, what does Krishna say in the Bhagavad Gita?
Suitable practice and detachment.
Huh?
Suitable practice and detachment.
Yes, it's a suitable practice and detachment. You have to cultivate also spiritual knowledge. You have to fight against this, armed with yoga, stand and fight. So, yes, conquer by regulating the senses. That's important. Regulating the senses is mentioned by Lord Krishna, and cultivating spiritual knowledge. Then you can conquer over lust.
For higher taste, if we transfer it in the higher taste, then
Well, that's not what Krishna said. Higher taste, that's another thing. How are you going to get the higher taste if you're lusty? If your mind is absorbed in lust, how are you going to get that higher taste? You do not qualify for that higher taste. You have to first of all deal with it. You have to regulate the mind, bring it under control. So dealing with lusty mind, this is important. And then you can worship Dharmantari if you have physical illness. Relieve me from undesirable eatable and protect me from physical illness by worshipping Dharmantari. And Lord Rishabdev, protect me from fear by the duality of heat and cold. Lord Balarama Shesha, protect me from envious serpents. And then here, next one, Lord Buddha. Lord Buddha is mentioned. This is an important one. Lord Buddha. What was the mission of Lord Buddha?
Stop animal killing.
Yes, to save the people from, and at least this particular Buddha. There are many Buddhas, so, if you think you're going to preach to Buddhists, you're not going to get very far if you can just tell them they came to stop animal killing. There's two schools of Buddhism, Mahayana and Theravada. Mahayana is the more modern version. Theravada is the more traditional style of Buddhism. Theravada Buddhism is in Sri Lanka and in Myanmar and in Thailand. So these Buddhists, they'll eat everything. And if you say to them, this is meat, they'll say, I didn't kill it. They'll simply say, I didn't kill anything. They go begging every morning, they go to the market, and the people come from the market, they buy their cook. They go to the market and they buy cooked things in the market, and they'll come and they'll give it to the monks. And the monks will take it, they'll eat it. They say, I didn't kill anything. So they don't, the monks, Buddhism, they don't recognize any sin in eating meat. You go to a Buddhist temple, you see there's so many dogs there. What happens is the monks, they go begging and they get so many things of meat given to them, and what they don't eat, they give to the dogs. So many dogs are there at their temples, and they eat all the scraps left over by the Buddhist monks. Anyway, Lord Buddha came to stop what? To stop animals. Why were people killing animals?
Because it was there in the Vedas.
Very sacrifice.
Yes, that they were, so we can say what? What were they doing wrong?
Misusing the Vedas.
No?
Misusing the Vedas. Misusing the Vedas.
What the Vedas?
Misusing.
Misusing, okay. Misusing, okay. They were not properly interpreting the Vedas. Yeah. Misusing the injunctions of the Vedas. Right? So on the plea of doing Vedic yajna. Why were they doing Vedic yajnas?
Dharmartha kama moksha.
Material success, for material success.
Fruitive results.
Fruitive activity.
Yeah. The Brahmanas had become corrupt and degraded. Because of the degradation in the Brahminical class, all of this was going on. The Brahmanas were encouraging the people in the animal sacrifice. Because if the people come to temple and they ask the Brahmanas what to do, Brahmana will say, oh yeah, you should sacrifice a goat, you should do this, do that, and they will make some sacrifice. And then they pay the Brahmanas for that. So this way the Brahmanas making an income. The Brahmanas had become corrupt, they wanted more money. They were not thinking about the spiritual welfare of the people, they were only thinking about their own material well-being, that they wanted a good income. So they encouraged the people to perform Vedic sacrifice. And they supported it with the Vedas. They said it's in the Vedas. So Lord Buddha came, and Lord Buddha led the people away from the Vedas. We thought that this is not good, that if this is in the Vedas, then we don't need the Vedas. So he led the people away from the Vedas. That's why we don't celebrate Buddha Jayanti. The birthday of Lord Buddha is not on our Vaishnava calendar, because Lord Buddha did not follow the Vedas. So we don't celebrate Lord Buddha's appearance. It's a big day for the Buddhists, but we don't celebrate that day. Because he didn't follow the Vedas. He rejected the Vedas. He rejected the Brahmanas. By rejecting the Vedas, then he rejected the Brahmanas. And when you reject it, then there's no more Varnashram anymore. So the whole Varnashram system was forgotten. And it's a big point in the Buddhist preaching, because they will preach everybody is the same. There's no difference. They will say there's no difference between this person and that. Everybody is the same. Everybody equal. So people think, very good. That sounds very nice. Everyone is equal. Very nice. So is everybody equal? Is everyone equal?
No, there is hierarchy in everything.
Well, you're a spirit soul, I'm also a spirit soul. Are we not equal?
In one sense, yes, but there is hierarchy.
Huh?
So there are gradations in everything.
Where?
There is Varnashrama.
No, we don't need Varnashrama. Why do we need Varnashrama? Varnashrama is saying we're not equal. I'm saying we are equal. I'm a soul, you're a soul. Are we equal? What do you say?
On a soul level, we're equal, but when we are embodied and we have different natures and different desires and different characteristics.
In terms of the soul, we're equal, but in terms of the body, we're not equal. Just like in communist, socialist countries, socialist countries, they like to teach everybody's equal. They will say everyone's equal. Is everybody equal? Prabhupada went to Russia, 1971, and he saw one person is sweeping the street and another person is riding in the car. Is everybody equal?
No.
Oh, you cannot say everybody's equal. One person's sweeping the street, the other person's riding in the big car. Are they equal? No. Materially they're not. Spiritually they're equal. Spiritually they're souls. But materially they're not equal. So people have different natures. And so the Vedic system was to categorize people according to their qualifications. Right? According to their guna and karma. According to their qualities and their work. But Lord Buddha, he saw the Brahmanas, how they'd become corrupted and how they were taking advantage. Because I'm Brahmana, you just give charity to me. Right? I'm the Brahmana, I'll come to you and get charity. You go and work, make a I will come and beg from you. So the Brahmanas were exploiting. So Lord Buddha was a reaction against the social system. He led people away from the Varnashram. But then, it was an emergency situation. It was an emergency. It wasn't meant to be a Sanatana Dharma. Of course, we've still got Buddhism today, but it's not an eternal religion. It's not even a religion, it's Gnostic. It's atheism. Because there's no God. There's no concept of God in Buddhism.
Maharaj, I have a question on the souls being equal even in the non-conditioned state. We have different types of souls, basically Nitya Baddhas and Nitya Siddhas. And also among those people who are in the Golok also, there could be in Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. So isn't there relations in that also? The souls are not equal in that sense.
Yeah, but they're spiritual by nature.
Yeah, the quality-wise they're there.
Some slight differences are there. You can say like some slight differences, but still by quality they're equal. Maybe in quantity different. Anyway, Lord Buddha, he saw the degradation in the social system. He led the people away from that social. They just follow me. The people were already atheistic because of all the killing of the animals. They lost all their good qualities. And so they were atheistic and they didn't believe in God. He couldn't preach to them about God. He just said, just follow me. So they followed Lord Buddha. And in that way they were saved. But after Lord Buddha, then the Vaishnava Acharyas came. And then they brought back, first Shankaracharya came. And Shankaracharya, he was the one really, he defeated Buddhism and introduced the Vedas. And he brought back very qualified brahmanas, strict brahmanas, austere, renounced. So that was necessary. That the good people had respect then for the Brahmin, for those Brahmins. Alright? So Shankaracharya brought back the Vedas, and then the Vaishnava Acharyas came and they taught the higher understanding of the Vedic knowledge. And so this way we understand Lord Buddha. And then Kalki Avatar, from fierce incarnation, who vanquishes the class of atheists. And then Prabhupada writes, look at this statement, as Kali Yuga advances, many pseudo-religious principles will certainly be introduced, and people will forget the real religious principles enunciated by Lord Krishna before the beginning, Kali Yuga. What are some examples of pseudo-religious principles?
Worshipping demigods.
Well, that's in the Vedas. That's Vedic. You can't say it's a pseudo-religious principle. Worship of the demigods is in the Vedas.
Self-styled gurus.
Huh?
Self-styled guru. Those who think themselves guru, follow me. I am the guru, like that. I am incarnation. They are not in the scripture, but they say I am the Lord. Pseudo-religious principle. Like also.
Okay, I'm God, huh?
He makes his principles.
Any other example?
I think veganism is a pseudo-religion also because it's moving people away from the mode of goodness and generally want people to come to the mode of goodness and worship God eventually.
Which one?
Veganism,
Vegan?
people practice veganism, so they're giving up God. They want to do good for the world, but they're not believing in God, and also they're moving away from,
It's not a religion at all, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a new one that's out is humanism as well. So in religious studies in England, they learn about humanism as a religion, where they reject God and they believe that we're just chemicals and we go back into the ground. So I'd say that's like a pseudo religion as well.
Jainism seems like a pseudo-religion.
Huh?
Jainism,
Jainism?
it's a pseudo-religion.
Well, it may be, but it's certainly an established culture, section of society. They follow that. Of course, it's like Buddhism. It's similar to Buddhism in many ways, but
Islam is a pseudo-religion as well.
really,
It's written in the Bhagavad Quran that somebody example, Muhammad will come and spread a pseudo religion. He'll be the head of a pseudo religion.
Maharaj, if you say this is the Vedas, then even the impersonalism is in Vedas.
Well, impersonalism is one understanding of the absolute truth. Brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti shabyati. Learned transcendentalists who know the absolute truth call this non-dual substance as Brahman, Paramatman, Bhagavan. So one could be understanding the impersonal aspect of the Lord. It's not. It's in the Vedas. It's just not complete.
It's not pseudo then.
Huh?
It is not pseudo then.
No.
So,
In that sense, Maharaj, even this Osho, it comes from the Tantra Shastra. He preached that just like if you have fire, if you put too much ghee on it, then fire will extinguish. If you put little by little, then the fire will burn faster. So he preached that you do so much sense gratification that you will feel like not having sense gratification. That was his preaching.
Yeah.
He comes from Tantra Shastra.
He's just taking advantage of different things in the scriptures, so he doesn't follow any of it. That was all nonsense.
so that means pseudo religion is that which is not in the Vedas. All are pseudo religion who are not following the Vedas. In that way, all these are main religions: Christianity, then Islamism.
No, they have their own tradition, they have their culture, their scriptures, they have that. You know, we're not against these established religious traditions. You know, Prabhupada says the absolute truth is in all the scriptures, just like the Quran. You know, the Quran and the Bhagavad Gita are very similar. There's so many things in the Quran which are just the same as in Bhagavad Gita. One man in Calcutta, he teaches English in a school. He's a Muslim, and he wrote a book, the Bhagavad Gita and the Quran. And he's a vegetarian, his whole family are vegetarian. So, you know, similar Islam, Christian tradition, Jainism, you know, these are established religious traditions. But pseudo-religion, this is something manufactured, you know, which doesn't really have any scriptural basis at all to it. Things like this one man who said, Yatamat Tatapat, you know, and Prabhupada quotes that, it's coming up, where Yatamat Tat, you know that, Bengali?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ramakrishna Mission.
Yes, Ramakrishna Mission, like that. So many paths, many ways. You see, where is that found in the script? Nowhere. You know, it's nowhere in the scripture. Or you can eat fish because fish is the fruit of the sea. You know, you know, these kind of statements, you know, they're really off the wall. You know, that is pseudo-religious principles. When you start talking in that kind of manner.
Right. So then, how do we counteract the statement that's given in the Pavishra Puran that Muhammad will preach pseudo-religion, that he'll be given, and it will be on earth for 1,400 years, and then after that it will disappear.
Well, Srila Prabhupada writes in the second canto that Prophet Muhammad and Lord Jesus Christ did great work because he brought many people to the path of religion. They made them God conscious, you know, just by their efforts in teaching. That they have made a great contribution to the world and society. That they had brought in some religious culture.
But even if all these things are accepted as their scriptures, are they written by liberated persons? Because we think our Vyasadeva written this thing who is on the liberated stage. Can we say other scriptures who are written by liberated persons? Can we call them scriptures? That is one. Second is, even though they have established something, but over a period it got distorted. They have implemented or they have incorporated, they injected some of their own personal things in that, and they are following that. How can we not say that they are not pseudo?
Well, they have their scriptures. We have our scriptures, they have their scriptures. You know, but their scriptures, you know, they have an ancient tradition. And there will be also a lot of truth, a lot of good things in their scriptures.
Truth is there, but they have introduced some of the personal things. Suppose if he doesn't belong to our community,
no, what happens is in course of time, a lot of modern things are introduced, but initially in the scriptures there was nothing wrong. But what happens is people start to deviate, just like it happened in the Vedic culture, that the people were killing the animals in the Kali Yuga. Although people are not meant to do animal sacrifice in the Kali Yuga, they were doing it. Right? So this was a problem. People were not following the degradation. But initially the scriptures were good. It's all good. It's just the modern deviations.
Swami Narayan is an established religion, but they are based on man-made scriptures just created 50 years ago.
Well, they also have a deep interest in Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. They know these are the real scriptures. You know, they like to hear these things. They like our books very much. They read our books. They know that Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, that's the real scripture. They may have other books, modern, you know, more recent books, but they know the real scriptures are Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yeah, Swaminarayan is connected to one of the four sampradayas, but there's a slight difference in it.
I don't think so.
Because I've spoken to His Holiness Keshav Maharaj, and his family is from that tradition, and he's looked into it deeply. So I think it might be Nimbarka tradition. What's happened is they introduced new scriptures along the way, but traditionally they're connected to one of the four Vaishnava sampradayas.
Maybe if you
He's done a lot of research on it.
Keshav,
Yeah, because in England we have a huge Swaminarayan movement, and we try to keep good relationship with them, because together we're able to do a lot to influence the government. So he's done a lot of research into it. So traditionally it's connected to one of the sampradayas. However, it's become more of a Gujarati tradition because of certain saints that came in Gujarat that introduced new scriptures, but ultimately the source dates back to it's like people say ISKCON is just a new thing. People who don't understand ISKCON say, oh, this Prabhupada came, he wrote new things, but we're connected to the Brahma Madhva Gauriya Sampradaya, and ISKCON is part of that Sampradaya, so Swaminarayan is also like that.
Okay, so anyway, there are what are real religious principles? What would be a real religious principle?
Serving God without material motivation.
Oh, give me something from the scriptures, can you? Thank you. Yes, right, that's a real religious principle. Surrender to Krishna.
Do they consider Atma is there either in the other religions? Because when Atma is not there, the concept of Atma is not there, then we have to satisfy Atma, Yatma Suprasidati. That is the original religious principle. Can we say that they are the religious activities when they are not able to understand the concept of Atma itself?
Well, they have the concept of God, that there's a supreme being controlling everyone, over everyone. That's important. At least they have the concept of God. They believe in a supreme person.
But the relation between God and the soul.
Well, okay, that's another thing. But they believe in God. That's really religion. That there's a God, there's a person there, one person over everyone. Alright? So let's go ahead. Here we have other people, Lord Keshava, Lord Govinda, Lord Narayan, different parts of the day. Divide the day up into different parts to be protected in different parts of the day. And then here, Lord Madhusudan, protect me, he carries a bow. That's during the 5th part of the day. Lord Madhava, protect me in the beginning of the night. Protect me at the dead of night. Different times of the day. You see, we want protection. The Supreme Lord Janardhan is described, Srivatsa on his chest, protect me after midnight until the sky becomes pinkish. Protect me at the end of night. May Lord Damodar protect me in the early morning. And Lord Vishvara protect me during the junction of day and night. And then the Lord Sudarshan Chakra, burn our enemies to ashes. You can see now that we're not just praying for protection, but we want the Lord to burn our enemies to ashes. You can see something of the nature of these prayers by the demigods, because they're demigods, they're not pure devotees. You know, they're powerful, they're important, but they're not pure devotees. So they're saying, burn our enemies to ashes. And then here, help me pound to pieces the evil living beings. The evil living beings known as Kushmandas, Vinayakas, Yakshas, Rakshasas, Bhutas, Grahas. Please pulverize them. Oh, Krishna. Yeah. This is the prayers, you see. And then Panchajanya, praying to Krishna's conch shell. Cut the soldiers of my enemies to pieces. Please cut them to pieces. Cover the eyes of the sinful enemies. Pluck out their sinful eyes.
They will become blind.
Oh yeah. Cut the soldiers to pieces, they're going to be dead. Cut them to pieces, cut out their eyes, blind them. Yeah. How? Just see the mood of the demigods.
It's very cruel.
But here we see a little better the glorification of the transcendental name, form, qualities, and paraphernalia of the Supreme Lord. May these things protect us from the influence of bad planets. And then other things also. Meteors, envious human beings, serpents, scorpions, tigers and wolves. Protect us from ghosts. We are always afraid of these hindrances to our auspicious life. Therefore, may they all be completely destroyed by the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. By chanting Hare Krishna, we want to destroy everyone. It's not really our mood in preaching Krishna consciousness. And here, personified Vedas is worship, selected verses. Protect us from the dangers by His holy name. All kinds of dangers, the holy name. May the holy name, His forms, His carriers, His weapons, protect our intelligence, senses, mind and life air from dangers. And then Prabhupada introduces us to this term, Advaya Gyan. Advaya Gyan. You know the meaning? Yes? What's the meaning? Advaya Gyan?
Non-different,
non-dual.
Yes, understanding that there's no difference, that the Lord and His holy name and His form and his attributes and his paraphernalia, it's all absolute. It's all one, right? Krishna and his holy name are one, the same. One devotee, it was a Chutananda at the time, Swami, he was giving class and he was saying, Krishna is in his name. But Prabhupada stopped him and said, no, that Krishna is his name. Not just Krishna is in his name, but Krishna is his name. They're not different. Nam Chintamani Krishna. Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddhanityamakto. Vinat Nam Nama Namano. Purna, complete, perfect, the holy name of Krishna. Everything is there in the holy name. So there's no difference here. Everything relating to Krishna is of the same category. It's all spiritual. They're all engaged in the service of Krishna. So Krishna's paraphernalia, his ornaments, Mridanga, the kartals, right? Prabhupada was very concerned. You don't put them on the floor. Keep the mridanga off the floor. Because they're transcendental. They're paraphernalia for the service of the Lord. Yeah. Yeah, Prabhupada was very concerned like that. You know, we had to have a special thing for the mridanga drum. Keep the drums nicely. And so this point comes up now in this next purport, discussing about the cause and the effect. Are the cause and the effect, what's the difference? They're one, because the cause is present in the effect. Krishna is the cause, right? Sarva Karana Karanam, the cause of all causes. So Krishna is the original cause. And what's the effect? The effect is, well, material world. This material world is also Krishna. It's Krishna's energy. And there's no difference between Lord Krishna and Lord Krishna's energy. We have to understand this principle of oneness. Prabhupada said, those who are advanced in spiritual knowledge see unity in diversity. Unity in diversity. His name, his form, his weapons, everything. According to their spiritual understanding, the Lord is present everywhere. So may He always protect us everywhere from all calamities. And Prabhupada quotes this verse from Vishnu Purana. Well, a fire is in one place, but the heat and the light is everywhere. You can feel the heat and the light from the fire. The fire itself is in one place. In the same way, the Lord is in one place in His spiritual abode, but He expands everywhere, both the material and spiritual world, by His various energies. And you can see I've indicated this. Both the cause and the effect are the Supreme Lord. There is no difference between cause and effect. Consequently, the ornaments and weapons of the Lord, being expansions of the spiritual energy, are not different from Him. Right? The ornaments of the Lord, His necklaces, this message is making jewelry for the deities, right? Yes. It's all spiritual, right? The necklaces of the Lord. Awesome. It's His paraphernalia. It's not different from the Lord. There's different energies. Since the Lord is all-pervasive, He exists in everything, and everything exists in Him. Therefore, worship of the Lord's weapons or ornaments has the same potency as worship of the Lord. You can worship the Lord's paraphernalia Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in Puri. He didn't want to meet Maharaj Prataparudra. So one day what happened? Lord Chaitanya took his Uttarya, the outer, and he sent it to the king. What did the king do when he got that Uttarya?
Worship it.
Yeah, he began to worship that cloth like it was the Lord himself. So Mayavadis, they cannot understand. They cannot appreciate. Okay. And then here we have this prayer to Lord Nrsingadev. May Lord Nrsingadev protect us in all directions, in all corners, above, below, within and without. So everywhere. So that's the end of the Narayana Kavacha. So Vishwarup says to Indra, this mystic armor has been described by me to you. By putting on this protective covering, you will certainly be able to conquer the leaders of the demons. And we're told how you can protect yourself from the government, from different kinds of disease. And we're told something about the power of this Narayana Kavacha. It didn't just come from Vishwarup. Here it said, the king of he said, a Brahmana named Kaushik formerly used this armor when he purposely gave up his body in the desert by mystic power. So, seems like you can use it also to give up the body. You can use it to protect the body. You want to give up the body. And he tells about it. He says that one day Chitraratha, the king of Gandharvas, was passing with beautiful women in his airplane, and he passed over the spot where the Brahmana's body was, where the Brahmana had died. And what happened? Chitraratha's airplane was forced to fall from the sky. And he was ordered by the great sages named the Valikulyas to throw the Brahmana's bones in the nearby river Saraswati. It's an unusual incident, but it shows something of the power of the Narayana Kavacha, that this Brahmana gave up his body, his bones had that spiritual power that they forced the king of the Gandharvas airplane to come down, and then he got ordered to put the bones, take the bones, put them in the river, in the Saraswati. So you can protect yourself from all kinds of inauspicious situations. So Indra was given this mantra. Indra, who had performed 100 sacrifices, received this prayer from Vishwarup. He's able to conquer the 3 worlds. However, we're told you must receive this mantra through the proper channel. Right? What is the proper channel? Yeah, it must come through the proper channel. Just like Gayatri Mantra. You can chant Gayatri Mantra. You can find the Gayatri Mantra out. You can, you may find Brahma Gayatri Mantra. You can chant. But nobody gives you it, it won't have any power. You may chant it yourself, but without receiving it through the proper channel, it's not going to be so effective. It should be given from the lips of the spiritual teacher. You can simply chant it. You may go on the internet and you hear people chanting Brahma Gayatri. You hear, they've got recordings of it everywhere.
There is one Gayatri 5 hours in India.
Yeah, there's many things in India. We know. So you have to get mantras through the proper channel. Hare Krishna mantra is okay, you don't need initiation. You chant Hare. But if you're just going to chant Hare Krishna, you don't need initiation. But you're not just going to chant Hare Krishna. You also have to study the philosophy. You have to hear. You have to learn how to worship Krishna. And all of that you need a spiritual teacher. So the spiritual teacher also gives you the holy name. He gives us a Hare Krishna mantra to chant. So it's important to receive the mantra through the proper channel. Alright? So we take a break.